This is on the first resurrection, and you seem to think or believe that you can do just about anything and have your ancestors saved for the first resurrection. And Ted is saying absolutely no way, no how are you going to have your ancestors saved unless you are Tedian enough to enormously Tedian and do enough. Because in general, from Y2K moving forward, because of how this coming went, and because of how the first coming went, Ted has judged quite harshly on the first resurrection and hit it hard, and plans to hit it hard. And therefore, if you want to help out your dead relatives, you better really be enormously Tedian how much you can. And I'm in general upset to angry to furious to livid with what happened for the first coming, the results, and what happened, and what's happening for this coming. And some to many will religiously contort and keep contorting on arguing against Ted, no matter how many times he tells you that current Bibles and scriptures, what you're using, are really Roman Catholic Bibles, and they were terribly tampered with. And some of this is flat out fraud and just flat out, written by Romans. And it was not all written in Greek, what was intended for the New Testament. Absolutely not. It was written in Hebrew primarily. And Greek, and Ivan Jesus wrote tons. But do you find a thing written by Jesus in the New Testament? No. And Jesus did write. You weren't there. I'm hearing loud spiritually what happened. You weren't there. You have not been an eyewitness. These quote-unquote eyewitness accounts, if you look at these parallel eyewitness accounts, they're copied from each other. It's like a plagiarism job. It's a copy job to make it look like we've got, 3 eyewitnesses. And some of this is almost exactly the same, like it was copied. It does look copied, and Ted is getting told it was copied. And it's not, the Gospels that were supposed to be the eyewitness accounts. The gospel truth. It's not all truth. Current Roman Catholic Bibles and scriptures are not infallible. They're not perfect. They're not even all accurate. Not in the slightest. You've got to be out of your mind thinking we would go from strict and adamant and fierce monotheism in the Old Testament to 3 gods, or 3 in 1, the Godhead, the Triune God, the Trinity. We're still in adamant and fierce and strict monotheism. There never was a Son of God. Jesus, or the first coming of the Messiah, was supposed to be God Himself. And this coming is God Himself, the one living God, the one, the only, the complete God, who is Ted, right here, this brain, in this body, the one living Ted, the one living God, the one living Lord, the one living King, the one living Lord of everything, the one living King of everything, the one living God of everything, the one living Creator of everything. There's not 2. I don't sit on the right hand of anything. I am the judge. I sit on the most high judgment seat. I sit on the judgment throne, the supreme judge. This is Ted, simply human right now. Simply a human with a human brain and body, human eyes, human hair, human beard, simply human. Not how perfect or infallible or sinless you want him to be. In fact, he's homeless right now. In fact, he kind of stinks. He smells a little bit. You got to be out of your mind, believing that God and angels before Weevil Earth was created, were completely sinless, or even God was sinless, because he was not. I keep telling you this. You kind of get an idea how the Roman Catholics work, and how the Roman Catholics write by studying a bit about Roman Catholicism. You get it. They push infallible. Those push perfect. Those push sinless. Those push all sorts of things. You kind of get it. It kind of adds and subtracts, and it makes sense. The New Testament wasn't all written in Greek. What was intended for it was almost all written in Hebrew. Ted keeps hearing out spiritual, and Ted believes it. You know, you think just taking these Roman Catholic Bibles and reading verses here or there, or reading this, you have the truth, or you have all truth. There's even contradictions to blatant contradictions in current Roman Catholic Bibles, current Bibles, and they're not holy. They're not holy. Only Ted is divine and are holy and are sacred. He is putting a complete stop to all this divine and holy and sacred delusion. It's gotten far too out of control. There's no holy angels now. Only he is holy. He's had enough of it. You want life after death? You have to be Tedian. You have to be Ted enough. Ted seriously doubts any apocalypse, proper apocalypse or fire or anything's going to be delivered while Ted is alive. Therefore, you have to be Tedian enough. You have to be enormously Tedian, really. If you want to help your dead ancestors for the first resurrection, you've got to be enormously Tedian. And you have to really show the guts of the early Christians. You have to show the bravery and the courage and the guts of the early Christians, not of the current quote-unquote Christians, but are really Trinitarians and into Trinianity. Not Christians. You're not Christians. You're Trinitarians, or you're Roman Catholics, or you're something else. If you believe in a Godhead, Triune God, and Trinity, at best you're Trinitarian and you're into Trinianity. You're not a Christian. I do not agree you're a Christian. I do not agree you can even call yourself a Christian. Ted is Christ. This is Christ right here. He is Ted Christ. He is Jesus Christ right here.